At the end of Season 1 of Squid Game, our main character, Seong Gi-Hun, player 456, had won the deadly game, but instead of using the life-changing prize for himself, he's determined to stop the game from ever happening again. However, first, he needs to undo some of the mistakes from his past, beginning with his awful red hair. He takes the prize money and hires a team of investigators to track down the game's recruiter, who was the one responsible for bringing players into the deadly tournament. Gi-Hun's search eventually leads him to the recruiter. In a chaotic scene, the recruiter is seen slapping people around in the subway before heading to a park, where he's offering homeless individuals a choice between a bread roll and a lottery ticket. Predictably, they all choose the ticket, but they all lose. In a fit of madness, the recruiter starts stomping on the bread rolls in a display of twisted enjoyment. It's clear that this isn't even part of his job. This is his idea of fun during his day off. Meanwhile, Gi-Hun is pulled over for speeding by a cop, Juno, a detective who infiltrated the games last season while searching for his brother. Unbeknownst to him, Juno's brother was not just a player, but the mysterious frontman who controls the whole operation. Juno's investigation uncovers that his brother survived being shot and was rescued by a fisherman, and together, they've been searching for the island where the games take place. Juno recognizes Gi-Hun as a former player, which leads him to a new lead. Gi-Hun, running late to a meeting, finds himself in a deadly game with Juno and other detectives. The recruiter forces them to play an intense game of rock, paper, scissors -1, a twisted form of Russian roulette. The detectives are pitted against each other, and one makes a fatal mistake by throwing out 2 rocks. The other detective has to choose between saving his partner or killing him to survive. Unable to make the hard decision, the boss detective is killed. A different recruiter tracks down Gi-Hun, but rather than just killing him, he wants to play another dangerous game. This time, they engage in Russian roulette, and the recruiter, losing the game, follows the rules and shoots himself. In the end, Gi-Hun and Juno team up, sharing their information and deciding to take down the games together. Gi-Hun, now fully aware of the sinister nature of the games, has turned his old hotel into a massive armory. He assembles a team of former Special Forces members, including Juno, and prepares to take down the games once and for all. Gi-Hun, playing the role of the hero, decides to infiltrate the games again to bring it all down. He contacts the frontman through a speaker hidden in a piggy bank and tells him he wants to return as a player. It's a bold move, as the frontman is all too eager to let him back in, given that they've never had a previous winner re-enter the games. The stage is set. Gi-Hun is once again player 456, thrown into the deadly competition, but this time he's prepared. His team of ex-Special Forces soldiers is on standby, tracking his movements through a chip he secretly placed in his tooth. However, when the game starts, Gi-Hun finds that the Squid Game organization has anticipated his move, sending his mercenaries in the wrong direction. With no other choice, Gi-Hun is now trapped in the games for real. The first game, Red Light, Green Light, is just like the one from Season 1. The robotic doll that oversees the game is still there, and the danger is as real as ever. Gi-Hun immediately pulls out his fake tooth, only to discover that the chip is gone. This was all part of the game's master plan. Gi-Hun, trapped in the game once again, warns the other players that they'll be shot if they move during red light. However, no one believes him until the first victim is shot. Chaos ensues, with players running in panic, disregarding the rules, leading to a quick wave of deaths. Gi-Hun, taking charge, manages to calm some of the players down, instructing them to line up in a straight line to give those behind more room to move. It's a strategy that works, and most of the players survive. As they reach the end of the game, the remaining players are faced with the same dilemma as before, whether to vote to end the games or continue. In the past, a vote to end the game meant leaving with nothing, but this time, there's a twist. If the players vote to leave, they can split the accumulated prize money. This makes the decision more complicated, and the outcome is uncertain. The final vote is placed in the hands of player 001, an elderly man who seems to have a deep connection with Gi-Hun. However, in a shocking twist, player 001 turns out to be a plant, and he votes to continue the games. This revelation sends Gi-Hun into shock as he realizes that he's been manipulated by the frontman, who has been pulling the strings all along. As the game progresses, Gi-Hun's old best friend, Young-bi, is also re-entered into the competition, along with a new cast of characters: the deadbeat son and his nagging mother, a trans woman who becomes a hero early on, a businessman drowning in debt, a rapper named Thanos who's hilariously having a blast despite the grim circumstances, and a group of misfits who try to band together for survival. However, the tension within the group is palpable and betrayals start to occur. One subplot involves a pink bunny mascot who works for the games. She's a refugee from North Korea, desperate to find her lost child. She's trapped in the deadly cycle of the games, but she becomes a symbol of hope for the players. Meanwhile, outside the games, the investigators, led by Juno, continue their search for the island using a drone, but they're caught in a trap, realizing one of them must be a mole. The second game in this season is a brutal relay race where the players have to team up and complete various minigames. The stakes are high as failure results in death. The misfit team, led by Gi-Hun, struggles but finds success through teamwork. They manage to win, but at a cost. The tension between the red and blue teams begins to rise, and the real battle for survival begins. As tensions escalate, the frontman uses psychological manipulation to break the remaining players into two teams. The next game is a cruel test of loyalty and survival, where players must form groups based on the number called out. As the clock ticks down, friendships are shattered and alliances fall apart. The most heart-wrenching moment comes when a mother and son are separated, and the son is forced to choose between saving himself or his mother. The final rounds grow darker as Gi-Hun leads a rebellion against the Pink Soldiers. However, the frontman's ultimate betrayal leads to Gi-Hun's capture. With Young-bi dead and Gi-Hun on the brink of defeat, the story reaches a shocking conclusion. The frontman reveals his true identity, and Gi-Hun must confront the harsh reality of the games. The season ends with a chilling note, leaving fans eagerly awaiting the next chapter in this deadly battle for survival.